sort of injuries in the squad?
Just one or two little niggles. I think Joe Bennett come off last week, so he's not trained all week. But in general, we're looking. I think by Christmas we'll have the full squad almost.
Jose Mourinho went this week. Are you surprised at that?
I'm never surprised, if I'm honest. No, not at managerial departures. One of those things. I've got a lot of time for him. I think, in a way, sometimes you go to a club and it's not the right one. And I think he'll be looking forward to another challenge. I hope it's in Italy, if I'm honest, so I can get a couple of weeks holiday or something like that.
And of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the interim manager for now. What have you made of that appointment?
Well, I think it's the best job he'll ever have in his life, really, Ola, because it's he can't lose. It's a great. I mean, when you're a manager, usually you can lose but I can't see how he can lose, really. Hold the fort till the end of the season. If he does well, he'll get a couple of years and at least 6 months opportunity. And if he doesn't, he goes back to where he's enjoying anyhow. So it's a great club, and I think everybody is aware that we're all expecting Pogba, Martial, Lingard to be man of the match tomorrow, aren't we? Really now. So it's an interesting one. He's a nice lad, from what I've heard.
And you just touched on some of the players there, but they'll be without Lukaku, we believe, Alexis Sanchez as well. New manager, is this a good time? If there ever was a good time to play Manchester United, is this it?
If you believe that, I think you're telling porkies, really. I think it's probably the worst time you can play. So many people wanting to prove certain aspects, of the game. So I think it'll be extremely difficult. We've been very unlucky with our home games, really. We played Leicester after that terrible, what happened to the chairman. We played Leicester the first game, which I didn't think we could win that game at all. And then we play Southampton with a new manager. Now we play Manchester United with a new manager. So by my reckoning, I reckon Pochettino will be in charge in the next 2 weeks because we've got them on New Year's Day.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he actually would like the job on a permanent basis. It's been reported. Could you see that happening?
Absolutely, yeah. He'll have if he has a good run, that they'll be tempted, won't they? And like I say, he'll get at least 6 months of a 2 or 3 year contract. He's got some great players there. I bet he's glad he's going in their dressing room tomorrow. Yeah. But he has got some talented young players, and I'm sure tomorrow you'll see like I say, your Rashford, your Lingard, your Martial, Mata. They've all got things to prove. Pogba. So it'll be a very difficult game for us in that circumstances.
He was here in Cardiff 4 years ago, from the January to September. Didn't work out for them. They got relegated, then left with them struggling in the Championship. So were you surprised at all that Manchester United went for him when perhaps it didn't work out quite as well here at Cardiff?
Oh no, not at all, really. I think it needed somebody that probably they're all looking at somebody that's been there. He's a hero there, really, a legend in his own mind. I thought there were 3 or 4 or 5 names that come to my mind. I thought Steve Bruce might have got a shout, or Ryan Giggs and people like that. But he's like I say, he's a nice lad, and he just needs to hold the fort. It's a different type of management. I think they've looked at somebody that Phelan coming back in as well. Sir Alex's man. So whether Sir Alex had any say in it or not, I don't know. But it's it's a great club, and with the players they've got, the young lads that they've got, I would think that he can't believe his luck, really. It's an amazing opportunity for him.
And you're outside the bottom 3 as it stands. How nice would it be to be outside the bottom 3 for Christmas?
Oh, it would be lovely, yeah. I mean, if you'd have given us that at the start of the season, I think we'd have snapped your hand up. We're very disappointed we haven't got a lot more points, if I'm honest. At least 7 or 8 points. But it's not for the lack of trying. Like tomorrow, it won't be for the lack of trying tomorrow. So it's just we've got to keep going. Our home forms, it is important. And when you look at the home games, probably your Man United and Tottenham aren't the ones you're guaranteed getting your points or having a go at. But I do think anything's possible at home, and the lads are really in good spirits.
Looking at your form, the last 7 games goes lose, win, lose, win, lose, win.
Is that home away, home away, home away?
Yeah, this is all over. Yeah. So the next one, it's like picking off daisies, should be a win. You said your home form is so important. Do you think you can get a result tomorrow?
I think we can get a result at home against anybody, if I'm honest. It's that's how we are. I think we've got to try and come up with something away from home. We haven't been able to put everything together in keeping a clean sheet and creating chances at the same time. So like I said, we've got to work hard on that. But at home form, I think we've just got to have, like we have been, having a go really, and get the crowd up and hey ho.
It's a couple of weeks till January now, and you told us that you'd like a right back, a midfielder and a striker if you can get them. Has anyone caught your eye in the last week or so? Have you been out in Europe scouting again?
Yeah, I mean, we've looked at so many now. I'm almost dizzy at the aspect now. It's it's very, very difficult now. We agreed. I thought we agreed a fee with the club, and then they come back and put another couple of million on top. So I don't think we're going to get held to ransom. I think if that's the case, we'll stick as what we've got. I expect to bring two or three in, but it may not be our first choices, because I'm not going to have a gun to our head. I wouldn't really put that onto Vincent.
L'équipe in France are reporting Emiliano Sala from Nantes is coming over for 20 million. Could that be the player that you were just talking about?
Well, if he's coming over, it won't be for 20 million.
So was that the player you were talking about?
One of the players.
Okay. What about Oumanias? He's been linked with yourselves.
Who, sorry?
Oumanias.
Oh, the Everton lad. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all mentioned, aren't they? At the moment, I don't think there's any. I would imagine in Everton's case, they'll probably wait till the end of the transfer window really to try and get. We won't be. I don't think we'll be paying silly money for players. We'll probably offer realistic offers and see how we go on that. So it may not be that we'll be able to bring two or three in early doors. It might be the end of the window again, which we'll miss out on another 4 or 5 games.
But that said, it sounds like you've got a little bit of a budget to work with.
Oh, I've obviously we're mentioning names to the chairman's working hard and Ken Chew, but it's just not as straightforward as that. I mean, I think now they realise how difficult it is, the January window, because they've been hands-on sort of thing, and not being able to put anything in place really.
Well, it's a very busy time over Christmas, of course, when you're in football. So, you've got any downtime? Do you get to spend time with the family? What's your plan?
Well, I've not got many left really in football, so I just enjoy the atmosphere. It's going to be great for me. Palace is a special place as well. It's a great atmosphere. Got some good friends there. So Boxing Day will be a great occasion, and Leicester then after that. So before New Year against Tottenham, it's a great the great number of fixtures for us and for our fans. Like I say, we've probably moved a lot quicker than what we envisaged when I first came, but we've just got to enjoy it, being on that roller coaster.
Neil, I just get the impression, and perhaps I'm reading it wrong, that you're a little bit disappointed at the moment about the way things have been going in terms of transfer targets, or are you just being your usual realistic, phlegmatic stuff? Yeah,
I'm a bit of both, really. I'm disappointed, and you being my usually whatever you said myself. I am. You want things to get done, and you can't. It's not possible, really. There's no blame on anybody. I think it's just, I think teams where you look for players see it as an opportunity, the Premier League, to put another zero on the end or whatever, and we're not having that, and although it will be disappointing, I think we have to stick to certain principles where we are.
Is it making you view the second half of the season, this is going to be a bit of an uphill battle, or
If I sign 3 really good players, it'll be a uphill battle, darling.
Good.
Trust me.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You've made no secret of the fact of how highly you regard the Cardiff City fans. It's going to be interesting to see the response and the welcome that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get over the weekend, bearing in mind what happened over his tenure. Could that be used to your advantage and the team's advantage, do you think?
Not really. I think if anything, it'll probably drive his new players on as well. I don't see anything. I don't see why they should get. He tried his best. He was a young manager. Then he obviously made mistakes, and I'm sure he's learned from that. He's had a really good time in where he's comfortable at home, and he's been given an opportunity that he never ever dreamed of it would be possible. So good luck to him. He's a lovely lad, and I'm sure that he can get a tune out of some of them. That's probably the worst part in football management that I feel is player power. with Jose. I just, from the outside, it's a terrible part. It's only happened to me twice, really. I don't have that problem here, but at Palace and probably at QPR at times, that was disappointing for me as a manager. And you can't really win. You have to leave, I'm afraid.
He has got a wealth of talent at his disposal, there's no doubt about it. But in terms of experience, I mean, you are leagues ahead of him. That's going to count for something, isn't it?
I hope so, yeah. I can't see it, really. I can't run on the pitch.
Does that not give you confidence, the fact that you've got so many more years' experience on him?
Not really. I mean, at this level, it's all about your players, really. And if, Man United, I think everybody will agree that Man United's players are far superior to ours, really. And that's not being disrespectful to ours. But that's what makes the game so great in our country, really, that, we will give it a good shot tomorrow and we will enjoy every minute of it, and the fans will get behind us. If you'd have said, like I say, when I turned up the first game, if you'd have said, a couple of years' time you'll be playing Man United in a full house, they'd have thought we were in cuckoo land. So it's a tremendous day for us all tomorrow. Everybody's got to come and, we've got to enjoy it. We don't want to get really, our nose rubbed in it, but I'm sure we could give a good account of ourselves.
And, they've shown weaknesses this season, obviously. I mean, we were talking to Bobby Reid yesterday, saying that he feels that they really are a team in transition. And, they have shown weaknesses, certainly at the back. There are areas to exploit. They're not infallible, Manchester United. They're not, if you were playing Manchester United 4 or 5 years ago, you might have felt a bit differently about them, I wonder.
Yeah, I think that goes for anybody outside the top two, really. I think they're all vulnerable. But really, at some stage, they've all got sort of weaknesses in their squad, even though their squads are unbelievable. I mean, Man United is still the best in the world, isn't it, really? It's got that power to bring them all in. They've just not been able to get it right over the last 3 or 4 managers, really. I mean, there's been some good managers tried. So, it's not always, the grass is not always greener. But I think, you'll see, I'll be surprised if there's not a reaction from some of the players that probably had their nose turned up lately.
And some fresh legs, I guess. But I suppose in a way that could work for your players as well. I mean, you're saying they're looking forward to it, but I wonder whether actually that's going to be an extra galvanising factor for them as well, that they're anticipating these players are going to be really up for it, so they're going to try and raise their...
Yeah, I think so. I think, I think we can only play one way, really, and we will be trying to give them a good game, but we need everybody to really play sort of 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, really, tomorrow to get the result. And if we have 1 or 2 players that aren't up for it tomorrow, or, have a bad day, then, your Manchester Uniteds can pick you off, really. They find the weaknesses, as every top club does. Thank you very much.
Neil, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously is taking over a club very close to his heart, the club he supported for most of his life. Do you have any advice for him, you've done the job with Sheffield United? What's it like when you take over a club so close to your heart? Well,
you just can't believe it, and he won't have believed the phone call that they got originally, and he'll still be on cloud 9. I remember driving into Bramall Lane and just sitting at the back of the car park and looking at Sheffield United Football Club, and I think I spent about an hour and a half just sat there, talking to my mum and dad and everybody else, as you do, don't you? I usually talk to deer in Richmond Park. So it's a very, it's a tremendous feeling that you get, and you don't often go into a club that have got ability like they've got, really. You're very fortunate like that. And he knows the fans. He was amazing for them as a player. So he's going to get a starter anyhow. And as I said, I can't see how he can lose on it, really. The worst come to the worst, they finish, where they are now, and he goes back home, and that's the worst can happen. But the best can happen. They can, fight for that 4th place. As everybody in the media said, the next 4 or 5 games, they should win them all, I think everybody's saying. So that would be a great start for him,
He says he's heavily influenced by Sir Alex Ferguson, taking notes as a player and a coach. You've faced some of Ferguson's other disciples. Is there anything that holds them all in common? Do you see his influence on other managers?
Not really. I just look at teams that I'm up against. I suppose we're taking Mike Phelan back. I would imagine Alex will have had something to do with that. And I think Mike's been around one or two places and it's not been easy, you know. It's nice when you know the environment. I think, you know, Ole will know the environment as Mike will, and they'll know some of the players. You know, the young players are really exciting players. So, you know, I think I don't see how they can lose. It's a great feeling, that.
In terms of your preparation for the game, have you been focusing more on United's recent matches, or have you been looking at Solskjaer's matches as moulder manager to see perhaps the changes in style he might bring in?
Not at all, no. Or Cardiff's. When it was at Cardiff. No, I mean, my preparation is watching Fran's programme tonight on television. What do they call your programme, Fran?
Give the Dog a Home.
Give the Dog a Home. I'm going to watch it tonight, love, and relax. That's my preparation for the game.
Checks in the post.
Okay.
What do you expect then from the game? Dogs notwithstanding.
But very important.
Yes.
Thank you.
I've got it on series record.
That doesn't count as a link again.
What do you expect from this United team? Do you expect quite a big gear change from what you saw under Mourinho?
Yeah, I think you'll see. You know, like I say, the likes of Rashford will probably play up front with Lingard, and you've got Mata coming in who hasn't been playing. You know, he does well from the right, coming in on his left foot, and who's on the probably be Martial. You know, got pace, power everywhere. Pogba. You know, he's Pogba, isn't he? He's one of the best in the world on his day. So you know, the front five are probably as good as anything in the country, really, when they're on form. So we'll have our hands full.
And just finally from me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is known as the baby-faced assassin among Man United fans. What do you think they have for you in terms of a nickname?
Oh goodness me, I wouldn't be able to say it on here. No problem.
Come from League One to the Premier League, is the stuff you sort of dreamed of?
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive game, you know, and I've got a lot of family members who are United fans, so I'm sure they'll all be down there as well. But, you know, hopefully we can go out there and get 3 points.
What do your family and friends then make of the appointment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I think it was a bit of a shock, but I think they're more, you know, wonder how United will react to that, whether Pogba and stuff will come back into the team or not. But they're just excited to see him play, to be honest.
When you look at this United team, you mentioned one of their star players there, Pogba, who actually hasn't featured recently. They're going to be back in the team. What are you expecting from them? Do you think they'll be really fired up, trying to prove themselves?
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say they've all got a point to prove now, and I'm sure they'll all be up for the challenge. And we'll see tomorrow.
What do you think about Jose Mourinho getting sacked?
I don't think it's for me to say. You know, I don't know what was going on behind closed doors at Man United, but it's a massive club, and I'm sure Ole Gunnar will be trying to do his best to get them back up there.
And for you as a team, as a squad, how important is it to hopefully be outside the bottom three for Christmas?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, it's nothing better than going into the Christmas period, not being in the bottom three, and that's what we'll be aiming to do tomorrow. And
I know we spoke about it last week, but Christmas plans, obviously you have to come and train and things like that. Are you going to have any downtime this Christmas in amongst all these fixtures? For myself personally, I don't think so. So I think it's a bit too much to be getting back home and then back up for the game. So I think just training and travelling down to Palace. And you've been back in the team since your injury. How are you finding that road back to full fitness? Do you think you're almost there now? Yeah, I'm getting there slowly but surely. You know, it's hard with all these games coming up as well to be able to do extras in training. But I'm still working with the fitness coaches and doing my little bit where I can. Thank you.
Nathaniel, we were talking to Bobby Reid yesterday, and he was saying that, you know, as a player, you're desperate to pick your wits against the likes of teams like Manchester United. Do you feel the same way, or actually timing-wise, could this have come at a better time really for you guys?
No, not really. I think, you know, these games you have to relish the opportunity, and everybody's up for it. Everybody wants to play against the big teams, and if you get your chance, then you need to go out there and show what you can do.
But I wonder whether you actually sort of think, with Manchester United coming here, everybody talks about this new manager bounce. You know, could you have done without that timing-wise at this particular point in time? Possibly, you know, but it can go one of two ways really. It can, I think, everybody can be up for the challenge, or they can all be down and gloomy. So who knows what team will come out tomorrow? Is there message, I'm not saying that you're wanting to, you know, play games or whatever, but is there any message you'd like to give to the Cardiff City fans in terms of being like a 12th man for you guys tomorrow? Also bearing in mind that obviously it's the former manager coming back. Yeah,
but they've been like that with us all season, you know, and especially at home I felt that. I said that last week as well, but I'm sure they'll all be buzzing for the game, and they'll be behind us as they always are, especially at home.
Do you think there'll be a bit of extra spice though tomorrow with him?
I have no idea, because I wasn't here when he was here, so I don't know the ins and outs of that.
No, I appreciate that. Just in terms of the players, the Manchester United players, I mean, you know, you're a professional player. Do you think that they will respond to the fact that there is a new face there? Do players do that immediately, or will it take a little bit of time for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to bed in and the players get to know him? How will it work, that dynamic, do you think?
I'd say with him having history at the club, I'm sure they'll all respond to him being appointed, and you know, I don't think they are where they want to be, and I'm sure that they'll want to come here firing and get back up the table.
We were talking to Ariati yesterday as well, and he was saying that he really enjoys the whole Christmas period. He loves the spirit around the games and things like that. Is it a different feeling around this time of the season when I know the matches are coming thick and fast, but you know, is there an extra special lift because of the time of the season?
Yeah, maybe it's the time to be jolly, isn't it? So everybody's happy. You know, it's a family time. A lot of people's families are up here. It's just, yeah, it is a little bit of a different vibe, but it's still, come Saturday, it's just football. So.
Do you guys mind it being so busy?
Would prefer if it wasn't, but I can't change that.
Best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you, and to you.
Thank you.